Imagine buying a wedding gown for your girlfriend who just died and putting a ring on her finger as if the person were alive. Or to put it bluntly, you must marry a dead woman because you failed to perform the marriage rites of that woman when she was alive. And that's the situation that many young men in the central region and some parts of the country are faced with. It is a tradition that makes you say, "I do," even when the person you're wedding is lying lifeless. On JoyNews agenda today, Richard Kojonyako examines some cultural practices many deem outdated and think must be changed.
Weddings are great occasions. They excite the participants. Fast forward to funerals. They sadden the hearts, make people weep, cry, sob or wail. But there are occasions in the life of some men in the central region and some parts of Ghana who are made to wed the dead before the women are buried. It is a cocktail of emotions and many have gone this way. We were living together as husband and wife, but had not performed the customary marriage rites. She got pregnant, and so we decided that after delivery, we will go and see the family and do the needful. Unfortunately, she died. Kwesi Bequin, as I've chosen to call him, had the unpleasant experience of combining both a wedding and a funeral on the same day. He had to sew 2 wedding gowns, buy 2 rings, and provide all things necessary for a wedding ceremony. He had to face the age-old culture of marrying the dead person. In simple terms, he was made to perform the rite he should have performed when the lady was alive. She was dressed with her wedding gown. I wasn't in suit. I was in my morning cloth until they were done with the ceremony. Kwesi recounts the heartbreaking moment when he had to lift the hand of the dead woman and put the ring around her finger. Auntie for Aishitu did not go through such an experience. Her son did. Her son, like Kwesi Bequin, had to put 2 rings on the finger of the dead woman he once lived with. The anguish in her voice could be felt from a distance. He made us wed her while she was leaving the States. We put rings on her finger, presented some money. It is a wish that such a practice is abolished, and a different measure is adopted to deal with situations such as these. The 2 people loved each other. Many marriages these days have become expensive. They scare men and women, and that is why many of these things are happening. Reverend Samuel Parkisi is an associate pastor of the Assemblies of God Church in Cape Coast. He says in as much as he believes the practice is abhorrent, young men and women have to respect the institution of marriage and play by the rules.
The family of the late woman coming in was something like this as a form of punishment. To some extent, yes, they may be right, but then it may be too much as well. Because at the end of the day, as the popular saying goes, it takes 2 to tango. So the question is, why should a woman allow herself staying with a man for years when she knows that the necessary customary rite has not been performed? Therefore, that kind of union is illegal. And as a woman, if you want to respect your own dignity, why do you allow yourself so?
For Amos Dakwasari of the Department of Music at the University of Cape Coast, the practice is simply outdated and should be revised. He rather wants families whose daughters go into such relationship to be proactive in dealing with the situation before the inevitable happens.
If these things happen and you sit unconcerned and you don't raise issues about it, and now the person dies and you want to take the person or two, where the dead body, for me, it doesn't really make sense. I think what we should begin to think about is how to take care of the children that are, left behind, and not the dead is dead.
Well, until situations change and many men decide to perform the necessary customary rites, the practice of wedding the dead will continue to be a part of us. Richard Kwejenyakon for JoyNews Agenda, Cape Coast.